is it. The championship match of the Geico PBA Summer Shootout. And the #1 seed, Team Storm, sends out a heavy 1-2 punch. This year's most talked about players, 5-time U.S. Open winner Pete Weber. And two-hander Jason Belmonte. Can Player of the Year Sean Rash and Team Brunswick weather the storm? You're about to find out. Chicago, Illinois has been the home of the 2012 Geico PBA Summer Shootout. And of course, we are heating up for our conclusion to this Summer Shootout, our championship match. I'm Lon McCarron with Randy Peterson, #3 seeded Brunswick, trying to take down the top seeded Team Storm. Randy handicapped the two teams in this finale.
Well, Team Brunswick has got a ton of momentum on their side. They bowled some big games. They've taken apart two really good teams. They're throwing a boatload of strikes. But Team Storm has dominated this event. They're the #1 seed. They have to only win one game. But in my opinion, it's going to take a Herculean effort from Team Storm to take down Team Brunswick. They will have to bowl their very best game of this event to take this home.
From inside the 10-pin lounge, we're ready for the championship match. This will be a good one. I talked to the folks at Brunswick. They think they have to shoot at least 240 to get the job done. Sean Rash, this year's Player of the Year on the PBA Tour, in the leadoff spot. And he leaves two behind.
Alon, we talked about team strategy in our last match with 900 Global. Well, Storm's doing the exact same thing. They're the higher seed, so they get to decide who starts and who finishes this match. They decide to have Sean Rash start, which means Chris Loschener will finish the 10th frame for Brunswick, and Pete Weber will finish the 10th frame for Team Storm.
All right, we'll see how that strategy plays out as Sean Rash cleans up, marks in the first. Now, a two-handed wonder from down under, Jason Belmonte with the first ball for Team Storm, the top-seeded team. Belmonte with the big strike to open Team Storm's defense of their top seed. And that will bring Pete Weber to the line. PDW has made a lot of history during his storied career. He did it again in 2012, winning a record 5th U.S. Open title. He defeated his teammate Jason Belmonte in the semifinals of that championship, and then beat Mike Fagan in the finals.
Another 5! Are you kidding me? That's right! Who do you think you are? I am!
Well, Lonnie threw that strike to beat Mike Fagan by 1 pin, and my question to you, my friend, is simple. Who do you think you are?
I am. Absolutely. Broke a tie with his dad, Dick Weber, and Don Carter, who all had 4 U.S. Opens apiece. Pete Weber, the only bowler with 5 U.S. Opens. Weber, true to form, follows up Belmonte's strike with one of his own.
Total domination throughout this event by these two players. Pete Weber not disappointing with his first shot of this match.
All right, so while Team Storm watches, the Loesch in the right lane, trying to pick up his partner. And Loesch still in the groove.
He's been very tidy.
He has indeed, hasn't he?
Very clean, very tidy. After that opening first frame, he's been rock solid, throwing a lot of strikes that look just like that.
Sean Rash now 9 of 13 strikes during the Stepladder finals. And Rash makes it happen in a big way.
We got a good old-fashioned street fight on our hands.
Belmo up next. In just 4 years on tour, he's accomplished so much, and there's so much more to learn, though.
I've changed as a person and as a bowler in the last 18 months, 2 years here on tour, and it seems to be really paying off in my actual game. I used to be very carefree, and I feel like I still am, but I also used to be probably too much of a clown at some points on the lane. I used to really joke around, and it was working well to become 9th and 10th, and I felt like my concentration would lose in those crucial moments because I was just too relaxed, too carefree. So I've definitely changed a lot about that, and you know, I've really got that drive and hunger to win every time now, and I feel like that's really shown in my bowling.
Speaking of change, it looks like he's changed his razor as well.
Or at least found one. Belmo with Storm's 3rd straight strike here in the championship match against Team Brunswick.
It's amazing the control that he has with no thumb in the bowling ball and 2 hands. He's an absolute magician at speed control and rotation.
Weber with 16 of 23 strikes. Leads all shootout players. Trying to get 4 in a row for Storm. And there it is, the 4-bagger.
Exactly what they wanted, a quick, red-hot start.
So Brunswick looks strong coming in, but Storm has taken this match by the scruff and is out to an early lead. More in a moment. Back to Chicago in the Geico PBA Summer Shootout, and quite a shootout finale we have between Team Brunswick and Team Storm. This one living up to its billing so far. Chris Loschetter on the line for Brunswick. They trail right now by 20. But not for lack of strikes from the Loesch. And he brings another one to the house.
I knew I shouldn't have told you about the Loesch.
I love it.
You stole it from me. Chris Loschetter, absolutely red hot and just throwing great shots and a lot of strikes.
And feeling very confident indeed. Sean Rash now. Can he back it up with a strike of his own? Never doubt Sean Rash. All right, we're even. Hey, let's go back to last year's shootout.
Take that, you bottom!
Some tense moments between Rash and Belmo. Jason's ill-timed water intake took Rash out of his game momentarily.
Come on!
Was it the right thing to do? Probably. Did I say it correctly? Probably not. And, you know, it was either going to be me or was it going to be somebody else that unfortunately Jason disturbed or, you know, caught on accident, whatever people want to say it was. And I thought it was the right thing to do. I didn't say it correctly. And I've moved on from it. He's moved on from it. I think our staff at the PBA, our staff from Brunswick, our staff from Storm, our fellow peers, our fans need to move on from it and let it go.
Wait a minute. What? Let it go? Look, bottom line, these two do not like each other.
Come on, baby, right out. Yes, sir.
Belmo answers with a strike.
It's the Tour's greatest rivalry. They went at each other throughout the entire World Series of Bowling. They're going at each other right here in the Summer Series, a year after the fact. It's not going away. These two may be trying to put it to bed, but I promise you, I still remember it.
Everyone still remembers it. Pete Weber now trying to keep Team Storm perfect here in the championship match. Only Sean Rash's spare is a blemish on this championship match. And Storm stays perfect.
When he snatches the sunglasses off of his face, you better get out of the way. Pound for pound, the baddest man in bowling right there.
Loschetter now. Low shedder. Doing what the Loesch loves to do.
Pretty impressive stuff. Fun to watch. Keeping his team in it. Guarantee you he's having a blast right now.
Hungry for more PBA action? Sign up for Extra Frame at PBA.com and get exclusive access to interviews, archive telecast, and live events only at PBA.com.
Brunswick trailing by 10. Sean Rash with a strike here can even the game.
His wife, Sarah.
Is that a nervous smile?
Rash in the 7th leaves the 10 pin.
Come on, good pitch. Come on, run it down.
Boy, he realizes the gravity of every missed strike.
This ball just a little soft entering the pocket. The soft 10. Sean was hoping, but 10 pin still standing.
Not any longer. So the advantage for Storm is 11 pins. We will crown a champion when we come back to Chicago. This is the Geico PBA Summer Shootout. On the shores of Lake Michigan, the banks of the Chicago River, the Geico PBA Summer Shootout. After the bowling, I'm sure a lot of fans will head for Millennium Park, one of the top destinations for locals and visitors. You can see the Bean, as they call it, officially known as Cloud Gate, or cool off in the 50-foot Crown Fountain. And while you're downtown, you have to visit J. Pritzker Pavilion, designed by world-renowned architect Frank Gehry. But we have some business to take care of right now. Team Storm working on perfection. Belmo at the line.
There's a guy that knows a thing or two about bowling perfect games on television, the 21st in PBA history. And last year at this event, he rolled one in doubles with Ryan Schaefer.
Belmo, though, leaves one behind there. So much for perfection.
I buried him.
Yeah, you did.
I buried him right there. If I don't say anything, this ball goes a little bit high and it trips the 4-pin and the string is intact, but instead I buried him unintentionally.
Belmo clean up on aisle 2. All right, so Storm still leads by 10 in this championship match against Brunswick. On the line now, PDW, Pete Weber. I cannot watch this guy enough. He is fun. The anchor of this team throughout this shootout competition. And Pete leaves one behind.
Same pin, 4-pin.
Hate those commercial breaks.
You have to wonder if they got out of their rhythm a little bit. Once Belmo left a pin behind, perfection gone, maybe subliminally you let down a little bit.
Well, you heard Weber say, I hate those commercial breaks. So they're in a really nice rhythm. We go to break, we come back, they sit a little longer than they've been sitting, and all of a sudden they get out of their rhythm.
Part of the game.
It is. It's part of the deal. Now, guess who's up?
The Loesch.
That's right.
He does not want to finish second here.
Looking to set up the 9th frame for teammate Sean Rash with a big strike right here.
One time. You carry that.
And the Loesch does it again, Randy. Who wouldn't want him as a teammate?
Pretty awesome stuff to watch.
Now Rash has a chance to put Brunswick ahead.
If Brunswick strikes out, they'll shoot 269. Storm's max 268.
Brunswick said they needed 240, probably, they thought, to win it. And Randy, you thought that Storm needed a Herculean effort to beat Brunswick, and you were right on the nose. They have all they can handle with Rash and the Loesch.
Sean taking a lot of time here.
Big moment. Go through it. Throw! And he got it! The player of the year, Sean Rash, gives Team Brunswick the lead.
This one's going to come down to the 10th frame. Jason Belmonte looking to keep his team close and match Sean Rash's strike here in the 9th.
Wow, Belmo gets a bit wide and leaves the 10.
Did you see Weber's reaction? Oh. Pretty good shot here, just a massive ringing 10. And as good as Loeschetter's been on that right lane, things not looking good for Team Storm.
Well, Belmo cleans up the 10, gets the spare. PDW needing all the work he can do in the 10th.
Weber needs to strike out to put Team Storm in the high 250s.
If you had your choice of bowlers in this position, who do you pick?
This guy right here.
Absolutely. Storm's shootout comes down to this ball. Oh, Weber doesn't like it, and you can see why, leaving 3 behind.
Good shot. Good shot.
A rare clanker from PDW.
Well, of course, Pete saying good shot. He's being sarcastic. Got a little soft with it. Ball breaks loose, leaves the 3-6-10. Storm's hopes all but gone.
Hi, mate.
He does clean up the 3-6-10. We'll have a fill ball.
That was just a pathetic shot, Pete. Pathetic shot. Throw it like that.
Weber with the strike. 244 for Team Storm.
Good job.
Loesch needs a mark and good count. That's it.
Chris Loeschetter can win it for Brunswick. It all comes down to the Loesch, the late add to the lineup. Loesch. Oh,
no!
My goodness, Randy! Look at that lead from the Loesch.
Unbelievable. Looks like he's stuck right there at the foul line. He pulls it, goes straight through the nose, leaves the 3-4-6-7.
My goodness.
He has to make this. He has to get the ball to the right side of the 3, throw it into the 4-7. The ball will take out the 6-pin. Then he has to come back and throw a strike on his fill shot.
What a crushing blow to Brunswick and Chris Loeschetter. Loeschetter fails to spare and hands the title to Team Storm.
Keep your head up, okay? Keep your head up. You're great all day.
Harry Carey would say, holy cow.
Great. Well, you just can't help but feel sick for Chris Loeschetter. And that's an awful way to lose.
Brunswick loses 244 to 233. And the lead that will be burned into the brain of Chris Loeschetter. We'll wrap things up from Chicago in just a moment. Inside the 10-pin lounge, Team Storm celebrating their stunning victory over Brunswick. Let's take a look at how it happened on the Geico Championship recap. It came all down to the 10th frame. Weber needed to strike out to put maximum pressure on Brunswick and Loeschetter. He ended up with a spare His fill ball was a strike. Loschetter to close things out for Brunswick, but no! Loschetter then tried to convert the spare. He opened in the 10th, handing the championship to Storm. Randy right now is down with our shootout champions.
All right, well, I'm here with the victorious team, and I know, guys, that nobody likes to win that way, but Pete, let me start with you. Real tight match. Jason gets up in the 9th frame, leaves a ring in 10. What went through your mind?
Well, I knew he threw it good, and when he rung 10, it's like, man, you know, I have to double in the 10th to make sure we have a chance to win. And when I threw that first one, just like really, really bad. But I came back and threw the fill ball, and you know, they still had to mark, so that anything can happen in bowling, and you know as good as I do, anything can happen.
Yeah, we saw that as well. Jason, what was going through your mind when Pete got up in the 10th?
I was pretty confident he was going to get all three, and then I saw it off his hand, and I was going to go and punch him in the head. But but then he made the spare, and you know, just like Pete said, bowling's a really cruel game. All of us has been exactly where Chris has been, and you know, we're going to buy him a drink later, and I'm sure he'll be fine. And look, he's a brilliant bowler. He showed 4 other brilliant shots to even to force us to get to where we did. So. All credit to them as well.
Yeah, well said. Oskar, you're sitting back there on the bench, kind of tough. All you can do is root for these guys. What was going through your mind?
Well, first of all, it looked good, and then it looked bad. And again, we're happy, so that's bowling.
All right, and Del, I know that a lot of coaching, a lot of strategy went into this. What do you think was the biggest contributor to the success of this team?
Well, it's the dream team. I mean, Pete Weber and Oscar, sorry, buddy. Pete Weber and Belmonte there. I mean, they're 2 of the best bowlers on tour this year, U.S. Open champion, and Belmont won 2 titles this year, and I just thought they were the dream team and wanted to stick them together.
And final question for you, Pete. It's been an incredible year for all 3 of you players. The biggest shot in the history of the U.S. Open we witnessed just a few months ago. Where does this little win there rank in the archives of Pete Weber's career?
Well, you know, that's 2 out of the last 3 years that Storm's won this, and we all know that Storm's the best company that makes bowling balls, so what can I say? Thank you, Storm.
Yeah.
All right, guys, congratulations.
Storm was a gale force from the outset of this shootout, but seemed to have met their match in Brunswick during the final, but still managed to survive. For Randy Peterson, I'm Lon McHarren. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Team Storm, champions of the Geico PBA Shootout.